Taichung slammed for 10-day delay in ASF testing. Hualien victims receive Gov't-Funded hotel aid. Yangmingshan landslides block roads amid heavy rain. North Korea test fires ballistic missiles ahead of Trump's Asia trip. Former French president begins jail sentence. Australian man charged with stealing Labubus worth $5,000. OpenAI launches browser to rival Google. Giant floating pumpkin races draw large crowds.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Thursday, October 23rd, International Snow Leopard Day, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan's news, Taichung authorities face criticism for delay after a pig at Wuqi farm tested positive for African swine fever. The pigs began dying on October 10th, but samples were not sent for testing until October 20th, a 10-day gap that sparked public concern over the city's government's slow response. Over 200 disaster victims in Hualien's Guangfu Township are staying in hotels with a daily subsidies of 2,000 NT dollars until the end of October. Starting in November, the plan shifts to monthly rentals, 32,000 NT dollars for double rooms and 44,000 NT dollars for quadruple rooms, fully covered by government's funds until January. Heavy rains from northeast monsoon and low-pressure system caused multiple landslides in Yangmingshan, Taipei. Trees and debris block roads at Jingshan Road, but no injuries were reported. Authorities have cordoned off affected areas and urged drivers to exercise caution. And in global news, North Korea performed its first ballistic missile test in 5 months on Wednesday, days before U.S. President Donald Trump and other leaders are expected to meet in South Korea. South Korea's military said it detected multiple short-range ballistic missiles that were launched from an area south of Pyongyang and flew about 350 kilometers towards the northeast. The South's Joint Chief of Staff didn't release more specific flight details, but said the missiles didn't land in the sea.
The Joint Chiefs added that the South's military remains ready to repel any provocations by North Korea, based on its solid military alliance with the United States. Japan's new Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi told reporters that Tokyo was in close communication with Washington and Seoul, including through the sharing of real-time missile warning data. Trump is scheduled to leave for Asia at the end of the week on his first trip to the region of his second term. He plans to visit Malaysia first for a regional summit, then head to Japan before traveling on to South Korea for an Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting, an annual summit meant to promote economic integration and trade.
Nicolas Sarkozy has become the first French ex-president to go to jail as he begins a 5-year sentence for conspiring to fund his election campaign with money from late Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. Not since World War II, Nazi collaborationist leader Philippe Pétain was jailed for treason in 1945 has any French ex-leader gone behind bars. Sarkozy, who was president from 2007 to 2012, has appealed against his jail term at the La Santé prison, where he will occupy a small cell in its isolation wing.
More than 100 people applauded and shouted, "Nicolas," as he left his villa, holding his wife Carla Bruni Sarkozy's hand. Sarkozy's cell in the prison's isolation wing is believed to be on the top floor and measures between 9 and 11 square meters. There had earlier been talk of him serving his term in another wing for vulnerable people, where other VIPs have been jailed in the past. He will have a toilet, a shower, a desk, a small electric hob, a small TV, and the right to a small fridge. The former president also has the right to receive information from the outside world and family visits, as well as written and phone contact. However, he is effectively in solitary confinement, allowed just 1 hour of exercise per day by himself.
An Australian man has been charged after police alleged he stole dozens of Labubu dolls worth around 9,000 Australian dollars. Victoria's police raided a property in Marlborough on Tuesday, seizing 43 of the dolls, some of which were limited edition and worth up to 500 Australian dollars each. Detectives say the collectibles were taken from a shopping center during 4 separate robberies that have occurred since July. The elf-like creature from Chinese maker Pop Mart has plush body and vinyl faces, adorned with pointy ears and a mischievous grin, showing exactly 9 teeth.
They have become hugely popular around the globe, sparking long queues outside shops and fueling massive profits for their maker. Victoria Police said the 40-year-old man has since been charged with 4 counts of burglary and 2 counts of theft. He was released on bail and will appear before the Melbourne Magistrates Court in May next year. Launched in 2019, Labubu dolls have helped Chinese retailer Pop Mart become a major player, operating more than 2,000 vending machines in stores around the world. They have taken off globally, especially in the US, thanks to celebrity endorsements from stars such as Kim Kardashian and Lisa from the K-pop group Blackpink.
ChatGPT maker OpenAI has unveiled an AI-powered web browser to challenge competitors like Google, which operates Chrome. ChatGPT Atlas does away with the address bar that is a key feature in search, with CEO Sam Altman saying it was built around ChatGPT. The company made the browser available on Tuesday for Apple's Mac OS operating system. The arrival of Atlas comes as OpenAI seeks new ways to monetize its massive investment in AI and capitalize on its growing user base.
OpenAI said Atlas would also offer a paid agent mode that conducts searches autonomously for users of its popular chatbot. The feature will be available only to paying ChatGPT subscribers. It uses the chatbot to make improvements that make it faster and more useful by working with your browsing context. The company has announced a slew of new initiatives to steer users toward its online services, forming partnerships with e-commerce platforms like Etsy and Shopify, as well as travel booking sites such as Expedia and Booking.com. At OpenAI's Dev Day event earlier this month, CEO Sam Altman announced that ChatGPT had reached 800 million weekly active users, up from 400 million in February.
Hoisting his kayak paddle triumphantly in the air, Gary Christensen celebrated as he crossed the finish line victorious in his giant floating pumpkin. Dressed as Buddy from Will Ferrell's holiday movie Elf, Christensen won the first race in the annual event over the weekend in Tualatin, Oregon. The Portland suburb has hosted the West Coast Giant Pumpkin Regatta since 2004, drawing large crowds who cheer on costume participants as they race around a small man-made lake in enormous pumpkins that have been carved out to float.
For Christensen, who has competed in the regatta since 2013, the activity has become much more than a once-a-year affair. Earlier this year, he claimed a Guinness World Record for the longest journey by pumpkin boat after paddling about 94 kilometers on the Columbia River. The niche endeavor has also become a passion for Brad Bonds, who participated in his 4th regatta dressed as a character from the TV series Squid Game. He described the fun of growing his own pumpkin, which took 6 months, and getting to culminate the season by putting it in the lake and paddling with our friends. This year's pumpkin, weighing 624 kilograms, marked a personal record for him.
The answer for yesterday was C, secure. The company managed to secure a major contract with a foreign partner last year. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. North Korea tests fire ballistic missile ahead of Trump's Asia trip. Number 1, ballistic, 弹道的,弹道学的. The military conducted ballistic tests on the new missile. Number 2, summit, 高峰会, 顶点. World leader met at the climate change summit in Geneva. Number 3, integration, 整合,融合. The integration of technology into education has improved learning outcomes. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section. The correct answer will be announced next week. The first International Snow Leopard Day was held on October 23, 2014. The day aims to highlight the importance of conserving snow leopard and raising awareness about these remarkable animals. It also emphasizes the need to combat poaching and strengthen environmental cooperation among countries within the snow leopard's range. And that's all for today's FUNDAY News. Be sure to tune into FUNDAY News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.